Yeah. Toro, bass junkie, cut through it. Yeah. 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 Group chat jumping, same old drama. Screenshots, think pieces, recycle karma. Timeline loud, but the truth sound quieter. Mute half the world, now my head feel lighter. Crypto bag small, but the brain compounding. DCA faith when the chart flatlining. They sold dreams, Lambo win a month, quick flip. I want land, less rent, more ownership. AI talk at the table, late takeaways. Who code the rules, who choose the maze? They want our face, our voice, our data. We want our time back sooner, not later. Follow through the noise, let it fade in the background. Talk your talk real low, still surround sound. Same cold world, but the kettle stays on. My boy, soft light, deep chat, we just cut through the noise. Follow through the noise, let them scream in the scroll bar. We stay here long form, talking from the gold heart. Same my world, but we're calm in the void. Cup in hand, good friends, yeah, we cut through the noise.
Yo, and welcome to another edition of Cut Through the Noise, the real talk show here with your boy Bass Junkie and Mr. CEO himself, Toro. Guys, if you enjoy this show on a weekly basis, make sure you smash that like, that retweet, and comment on the show, just so that Elon starts working for our bags. Let's get the algo working for us, because we're bringing the good word every week. Last week, Toro actually dropped an absolute gem. He dropped some alpha about a 20x hype long, Solana long, and I think it was a Link long. Oh no, Litecoin. Litecoin was the third coin that was primed for a pump. And I must say, I took his advice. From an $800 position, I put like a 20x long. I'm like, okay, look. At the time, Solana was $87. He said like the next make or break area is 91. If we get through that, we'll go off to 100. He said it live on the show, but he's like, okay, also 91 could be a resistance. So I placed 20x, $87 to 91. I woke up the next morning at Solana at $90.85, at like 7 in the morning. I'm like, whoa, I'm up $600 on that long. And then as I'm watching it, it just ticks up $91.04. Boom, order filled. $685 in the first 5 minutes of being awake. And that was thanks to the alpha given by yours truly, your man Toro, here last week. So guys, if obviously everything on the show is not financial advice, it's all for entertainment purposes, but let's dive into it. Toro, my friend, my brother, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I'm blessed. You know, we made it through another week. A lot has gone on in crypto. It's so much we can dive into. A lot of people keep hitting me up where we're at in the cycle. Am I bearish? Am I bullish? What's my position? What's the new coins I'm invested in? All of this shit, bro. And I'm just like, guys, just chill, bro. Just chill a little bit. Let's take a breather. Let's take it one at a time. But I'm happy to be here, man. Definitely another week. We've been calling it pretty accurate. A lot of people don't know, but if they look back on the previous episodes, we've been calling it accurate this whole time. We haven't been missed a beat. We've showed you the directions and where I believe. The only situation where I might say is that's like, you know, I do believe that 2027 is still going to be an accumulation year, but I don't know. I know 2028 is going to be the peak of it. 2028 is going to be as good as it gets, and then we're back into another bear. So right now, there's a lot that we can unfold, from regulations for Hyperliquid, new unfolds with Robinhood Chain, unfolds with base batches. There's so many ways we could take it. So I'm really happy to be here. There's a lot that we can get into. Sorry for the wait, guys, but we definitely been locking in, and yeah, we're gonna give it to you raw today.
And just to echo that last part, we were actually here before 9:30 UTC +1. We're here 5 minutes before the show, but your boy Toro and myself, we have so much to catch up on. Like it's time escapes us, and honestly, one of the main points of the show is to just have that real conversation between friends who are in the trenches, looking, who are building, who are trading, who are creating and growing in the trenches, and anybody who has any questions for us, like reach out, guys. Like Toro he's called it not once, not twice, but multiple times on the technical analysis. So if you have any questions, absolutely do reach out. And I must say, previously I would I would call myself like the world's worst trader, crypto's worst trader, but I've had a monster 10 days running a fatal trade challenge with with Carlos, the former base leader of Central America, and he hit me up after I made a few calls on the timeline, and he's like, "Hey man, let's do a public trading challenge." And over the past 10 days, I was able to turn $690 into 13K plus, and I was like, "Okay, this has been a fun ride." Trading it all in public, and that's the thing; it's all been public. The tokens I was in before they pumped are all on the timeline, so it's there. It's documented. There was no hidden advantage. Is there?
Yeah.
If you called it, if you followed, fantastic. If you didn't, there's always more coins. But yeah, it's been a fun week in crypto. Definitely, the market has been giving if you've been positioned correctly.
100%. Definitely, if you seized the opportunities of last week, you definitely rolled out this week pretty sweet and more profit if you held positions appropriately, and definitely you rolled out on some good projects. Definitely see some more opportunities on the floor as things keep rising. But it's gonna get shaky. Things are getting real quaky. I'm actually in this week's trade competition. I got smoked on perps for $200. And I'm in two positions right now that are in profit, Litecoin and Zcash, max leverage, and on Hyperliquid. And yeah, I'm gonna see what we're gonna do. I think that this week is gonna be a big stagnant, but I definitely believe there's gonna be more momentum. As we're speaking right now, Bitcoin's at 80K. 81K is definitely a checkpoint for Bitcoin, but I won't take Bitcoin serious to see this as a true turnaround until we clear around 93K. Even at 91K, I will start, definitely will want to like start putting in some serious positions. If I'm a levy boy, if I'm playing them purposes, or if I'm like a future guy, I definitely would play around those ranges. But you guys know my MO. It's still a bear market. It's still a lot that we haven't escaped yet. Actually, one of my friends recently, she left one of my groups because she totally disagrees with me. And I've been wrong in the past on certain things, but I've also been right way more. That's how I kept the roof over my head, right? Made it this far. So when I think about it, the sentiment hasn't changed for me at all. This is low-key a bull trap, and we still have a fair value gap that we haven't traced back to. And I'm not saying that we always have to trace back to these gaps, but this is such a huge magnet on a big time frame that I don't see us at least scraping it. And we came close in the 57K range around that time, but truly around 55 or lower, I definitely see us having to come back to 45K at some point. But right now we're gonna run it out. I will say this: look out for September 22nd, around that time. Historically speaking, there's always been some turbulence around that time with Bitcoin in previous cycles. Mm-hmm. So I will look out for around that time for any news, a Trump tweet, war, something around that time that will affect the movement of Bitcoin, or just look at Bitcoin's price movement around September 22nd. So we still got some good times. There's still gas in the tank, it seems, for Bitcoin to go even higher than where it is right now at 80K. So I don't see 81 being a really strong resistance. But guys, get it while the getting's good, because I definitely see it that we're in overdue to another pullback down. And this is just a relief rally. This is my perspective. We still have more bottom of that bowl to hit, you know, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll get in at a higher price. It's no issue. You know what I'm saying? There's no issue for me, at least, you know, but there's always opportunities and there's always letdowns. Like, you know, well, as this is going, people were saying like, oh, hitting me like, oh, I made a, you know, Moonwell's pumping. Next, you know, the news came out that Moonwell was being exploited. And it was like how they went about it was crazy with the using the Momo token, right? Though that was vibe coded with the Moonwell team in collaboration with Jesse Pollock. Things always are gonna happen, right? And I know some whales over there, right, that just been going through the motions, regrettably not thinking should they have sold that previous. Of course, you should have sold. If you really believe in the project, buy back into it and keep the profit on top. So now you just maximize your position, or, you know, doubled your position or whatnot, whatever the discounts be. You know, when I really see the whole playing field of how Bitcoin is looking out to be, we still have some more emotion on this roller coaster, but I'm jotting down everybody that says this is the bottom. I'm jotting down that everybody says that we already bottom out. I'm jotting down all you fuckers.
Quick question there. Why are you jotting them down?
Because I want to remember to block you motherfuckers for any future preferences, any fucking you gotta silence the noise, bro. And then it may not even be you. You might be a disciplined trader, investor, but it's just somebody that and it just starts tearing back the layers of your consciousness and starts playing on your emotions and starting seeing where the FOMO was at. And it's like, for me, I'm just playing. I was just playing with the perps. I'll play with the levies. Me personally, I'm moving more focus back into the futures, macro and mini, the NASDAQ, because the validity that opens up every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Right. So I believe that my position is like what I always do: find gems, spot buy them, whale into them, and then try to sell them at the best points of offloading, you know, into supply zones. I don't see how people can be so bullish, but I get it. We should be bottoming out. My original prediction was we was going to bottom out around sometime this year, no later than October, November. And now I'm shifted it over a year. I definitely see that right now as I look at Bitcoin. Let me go to my screen. Share.
Yeah, I absolutely do share like what you're looking at here.
Yeah, let me know if you can see that.
There we go.
All right, bear with me, guys. I know a lot of you guys keep saying, "Oh, your shit looks like pixie dust cum or unicorn piss," because all of the fucking.
I mean, there are a shit ton of lines on this, but
yeah,
if you pay attention to the important ones, and if you're able to read them, if you're able to make sense from the tea leaves, as you are, then like, guys, consider this as alpha.
Yeah, see, I look at my lines when you start seeing them in clusters like that as like zones. So I've learned to do that over time. And it's just like, obviously I don't like, this is just like my notepad, right? So I've been like trading this chart for years on TradingView, right? So as you can clearly see for me, this red bar that's going across, that's a supply zone that you know, whales have said that they're more inclined to sell at those prices, right? Remotely, anything remote of that, anything north of 90, we're trying to offload the boat at this point. But people don't see this buying opportunity right here. This is a buy zone. This is a demand zone, and this is coming from a fair value gap This is acting like a magnet. This has been acting as a landing pad, a landing spot for Bitcoin for some time. We barely scraped it. I don't even think we actually even entered that zone at all. We haven't. It's showing me that there's more room to grow. Beyond key EMAs being crossed and showing that we're in a bearish sentiment and showing that mind you, this is a 9-week chart. So this is a big boy chart. I'm showing you the sentiment of the last several months, guys. I'm not just showing you what just happened last week that got you tweeting and twerking and squirting and telling your friends all about it before the holidays so you could look like a fucking idiot around the table again. Like, I'm telling you what's going on right now. Take it or leave it. We're eating our vegetables today, right? You can clearly see this is an accumulation zone. What happens after accumulation? Consolidation, guys. Manipulation. There's always going to be those institutional whale buys at these zones that are going to get swept into, that are always going to get dipped into. There's going to be people that are going to be like, hey, we can't get no lower than this. And they all started compounding around here, around let's say January, November time, right? Big boys that understand that, hey, like I should have been shorting. But we can't get any lower than this. We're gonna wipe them out. And the way that we wipe them out is by going back down to the demand where there's a lot of liquidity that's been waiting and stacking there. These are big boys, girls. Like these, like ladies and gentlemen, these are like the giants. So they're more patient parking their money and parking their buys in certain situations because they're the guys that make the wheels turn. They turn the gears of this thing, not you and your fluky little 10, 20 bands, right? No, and that's no disrespect to anybody. It's just what it is. Like, I'm just trying to show you even at that state of that chunk of money that people will literally kill for and have killed for, that ain't nothing compared to what we're seeing on this chart right now, right? People got to get into the mode of understanding, like, yes, we're in a current sell climate. So the next signal will be a buy signal, but people forgot the key element. When? It's not time. It's not time. Base Junkie, when I'll take this more serious? When we clock out standing above this range. What is that? $93,436.79. When we can, I'm not saying we touch it. When we can fully close out above that range, I will come out and say, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm probably going to retire after this. But till that time, I'm writing down you bullish fuckers that are wrecking my people. I'm telling you.
Now, I think the nature of man is eternally optimistic. Like, people want to hope for the best. Like, it almost feels like counterintuitive to root for the downside. And I've placed some shorts in my time, and I've made money from my shorts, and it always felt like dirty money. Like, this is like just like my personal. I want to root for all of us to win. Like yeah, kumbaya. Like, let's fucking send it. Let's fucking go to the moon. And these past weeks have been fantastic. They've been great to me personally, and great to the market. Just, an opportunity, a breath of fresh air in an otherwise, doom and gloom world situation that the globe is in. Partly, I guess my next question will be the pumps. Yes, potentially a bull trap, potentially the start of the bull run. Like I'm curious about many things, like the 9-week time frame, all these things. But my first question will be like we are moving, we are pumping Bitcoin, fighting around the 80K mark, which just broke past the 80K like for a long time, Bitcoin was hanging around in the 70s, in the 60s. 80K feels bullish. Bull trap, start the bull market. What influence do you think the midterm elections have with this? And if the midterm elections are to be in November, what incentive do you think the Trump administration has to keep the crypto army happy, since the crypto community was such a pivotal follower base that voted Trump in as the crypto president?
Look, guys, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Damn, I wish I could sit at that table with these guys, man, because they're just playing you motherfuckers like the dummies you are. And at one point, I was drinking the Kool-Aid too, so I'm not that far off from the tree, right? But like, come on, the carrot and the stick is the Clarity Act. We know I could openly say it right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it is what it is. The Clarity Act was ass anyway, and it was fucking embarrassing. And of course, that shit was not gonna get passed. This whole revisit in September is not. We got bigger things on the table. The window for the Clarity Act to get like on the table has gone. It has gone, it has came and went. I don't care what you guys saying. Trump mentioning Hyperliquid and talking about crypto, carrots on the stick for you boys. Midterms has never been good for Bitcoin. Historically speaking, Bitcoin does usually not perform well on midterm years. We know this. These are the elementary, these are the alphabets, the 1+1 when you jump off into this game that people should know. So I don't understand. Like, literally, I'm looking at this chart right now. I'm clearly seeing that we're pumping right into a supply zone. So that means that we're at a testament point that we're either going to respect it or we're going to get rejected. And I don't think a lot of bulltards understand this game. So when we realize that the Clarity Act is not getting passed in September 22nd time, around this range, we're going to find another carrot on the stick. But it's going to be fucked up for the holidays. You guys don't get it, man. Call me. It's like I feel like a doctor giving you guys the pills and like call me in several days. Stack your chips, use these rips, buy the dip, and call me in February or March of next year, right? That's where I would take this thing more serious. Right now, we're just in a moment where we're touching key EMAs. We've been gradually been pushing into a supply demand, and we still have yet to sweep key buy demands. So it's just like, I don't think people understand, like, Bitcoin does not just go one way. When we were pumping, we had pullbacks. That's what they call pullbacks. That's what kept your money and my money and everybody's money round tripping, is like, oh, it's just a pullback, right? Same thing when you're being shitted on, being dumped on, guys. These are relief rallies. But if you look in hindsight, it looks like consolidation. It looks like we're in an accumulation channel right now. And I'm just being honest. We need a God candle. We need a push. Not that shit that we saw on the weekly. We need something in a higher time frame. So that means we need more money to approach at this point. I'm being honest. We're getting close to a buy signal. I can clearly see it on my chart. But is that time now? I personally don't feel like. I feel like there's much more. There's much more to go. And and this fake out, the more we stall in this triangle here, the more likely that these EMAs are going to cross under. And if they do, that means all of these EMAs got to cross again, which means that we still have much more time before they reset. And these EMAs are the 3-day, 8-day, 20-day, 50-day, 200-day magnets that have to reorganize themselves again to inflate the price to push Bitcoin up. But I can clearly see that in hindsight, in the next bull run, we're probably going to crack 170,000, maybe 210,000 on Bitcoin. We're not going to get to 250,000, but we're definitely going to see Bitcoin be damn near 200,000 in the next bull run. So that's not bad for those that bought the top of this cycle. You 2x your money if you held it in.
Yeah, I mean, a 2x over a how many year time frame are we talking about here?
4 years, no more than 4 years. So right now you got about a year and change. Yeah.
A 2x. I mean, look, if you're buying Bitcoin here at 80K and we're looking at 2K, I mean, we're looking at like realistically not 3K, but a 2.5K. A 2.5K, sorry, 2.5x multiplier in the next 2 years. That's pretty juicy if you're looking at a conservative play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking to size in and not worry about trenches,
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the trenches has ruined a lot of young minds, mine included, about like return expectations, because a 5% yield. I remember like playing golf with like a group of guys back in the day when I was trying to fit in with like the crowd that lives here in the south of Portugal. It's generally like a well-to-do older demographic kind of crew.
Yeah.
And this finance advisor was bragging, if you can believe it, bragging about getting 10% a year for his clients. And I'm there like as like the crypto bro, thinking like my like my tokens like went up 150% yesterday. Like what the fuck? 10% on the year. And I was just like, oh man, there are levels to this game, and there is desensitization to the rewards, because a 10% safe yield, yeah, people would take that. A 2x over a few years, people would take that. But I think I've been proper degen pilled, that I think like a 2x in 5 years is only for when I've like got to like substantial capital, that it actually makes sense that my priority is to preserve that capital rather than reflip it to make
like a Roth IRA or some type of safe staking mechanism pilot, something that yields passively. That's the name of the game. Yeah, 100%. I think that's like, get a bag and just like kind of like throw it in. Like once you get that fuck you money, just basically lock it in. That becomes your fortitude once you know where to park it. I never had that guidance when I got into this game, but I learned over the years like where money should be parked, and yeah, there's ways, man. There's ways. Like a lot of people, especially with a retirement accounts, they do the S&P, because S&P 500 is like, it doesn't really fail long term. But there's other compounding factors.
So quick question: as somebody who's made it to 7 figures, in crypto and beyond, like without doxing like the numbers, but like in terms of like if you had to think about like percentages in terms of like diversification, is that something that you feel comfortable to like sort of share, like where you think are like short term, long term, forever holds, passively dividending, yielding aspects?
If you make $2 or $3 million in life, just put it in a Roth IRA or a compounding factor like the treasury bills. Buy a shit ton of treasury bills and just basically live off the compounding yield that you'll get every month, minus the tax fees for taking out of it every month, which is about $10,000 a month. So if you're willing to lock up that much capital to know that you'll be generating anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 a month, and you can live off of that, then you're good. And the way that I would put that in perspective for people that are like, oh, but I have 2 or 3 million. Why would I want to limit myself to $10,000 a month? That's on top of your money. And a person that spends $10,000 a month, that's like the equivalent to somebody spending $10 million for 80 years. So you can do a lot with $10,000 a month, So I think at that point, that's where you like basically are out of the matrix. at that point. You know, you're basically at that point where you say, fuck you. You ain't got to listen to nobody, because whether if your tenants no longer pay their, you know, for the residency, if you and your business partner fall out, if your side hustle dries up for a little bit, you always have 10K coming in every fucking month. So,
and also 10K is mega wealth in a lot of the world. Like, so if you, I mean, that's super interesting to hear. Like, if you get to that 2 mil mark and you put it into the bonds, that you can get this passive 10K a month forever, just in perpetuity. You can live in Asia, you can live in Eastern Europe.
and live like
I mean, how, where?
and live like a king. Yeah.
Yeah, live like a king. South America. I mean, most places in the world, like 10K a month, that's considered rich. I mean, like on Instagram, you always see these videos like, okay, what's rich to you? And some people are like, some of these ladies are like 2,000 USD a month, 1,500 a month, 4,000 a month. And it's like, all of these numbers are super attainable without being somebody of like who's quote unquote made it slash sold a company or has millions in the bank. Like a 2K a month income is like a well-to-do person in the Philippines. It's like, okay, actually, like you can see why there's a lot of expats going there. But hey, that's a whole other conversation. Let's bring it back to like the plays, the tokens we're investing in the past week, because
Well, I also did bring up current event factors that Moonwell got exploited.
no
Today.
way.
Yeah, Moonwell got exploited, and they actually pumped 25% the same hour they were getting exploited. So yeah, they used you remember that vibe coded coin that Jesse Pollock and the Moonwell team created, like Momo or Mumu or something like that. Mamo. Thank you, Mamo. Yeah, somebody used it as like a dummy credit because it's on like at a 50% collateralization, and they borrowed like Coinbase Bitcoin wraps. They just ran it up. They were doing like multiple. They didn't just hit one thing. They accumulated. They hit like they struck for 9 million from one play. Yeah, man. Like,
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that happened earlier this morning, actually, my time.
So right now on the screen, I'm looking at Zcash. I wasn't sure if you were sharing something else or.
Oh, I'm in this position right now, so I was just seeing like where it is on the higher time frame. It definitely looked like it's like just now. I would say this kind of looks like it's forming a sweep above like key resistance levels, so I can definitely see it having a pullback. So I was just determining, should I take my chips and rip, or is the music gonna still keep playing for a little while? But Bitcoin has a while to keep playing this game. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get off the bus if we touch $986, some wild shit like that. I'm just gonna close my position on that, since I'm still playing perps on that. But I would not encourage somebody to buy Zcash at this point after seeing something like this. I will wait for a better entry.
So let's talk about like entries, because last week, I mean, like, big shout out to you. You gave me a well-timed, brilliant entry on Solana. I think Solana was 87, and you called up to like 91 before any sort of resistance. Like you said, like, there's more gas in the tank. Like, we can go there. We can even push it up to 100 before meeting any sort of resistance. I mean, Solana's been on an absolute tear. The entire market's been on just a rip.
Yeah.
But well, what are your thoughts here on Solana at 108?
Solana is looking good right now. Is that a real hard key resistance level, and it's a trend. It's a trend channel too. So if it were to pop that, the next little turbulence is between 112 to $114 range right there. That little tiny gap, but the true magnet here is around 117 bucks to 100, as high as 122. So Solana still has a lot of gas in the tank as it is right now. Currently, this is still a good play. Yeah, but I would say the checkpoints right now is currently a $108 range. It's like a checkpoint where it's at 108.42 is that key resistance right now. Going higher beyond that, I would say definitely 100, like I said, 111, 112 to about $114 is another little gap or tapper where it might pull back off of that little wedge. But it looks like it's trying to find a home up here around 117 bucks. So there's still some gas in the tank on this to keep going. It's looking very juicy right now for Sol right now. Sol's look like it's on a run actually. Like Sol look like it's on an actually really good run right now. So
if you were to place a leverage play on this, like the way that you're reading the charts, like do you think there could be a retracement here? Like, do you think we could be like heading I mean, I understand you literally just said we're pumping up to 117 further, but like in terms of like yourself, if you were to place a trade here, not financial advice, but I'm about to place a bet on what you're about to say.
Yeah, there's like if there's a retracement back to around $103 range or $99 and change around that way, you'll be good. So like I see like a key or like $103.77. If not, then I would look around like $98, excuse me, and 4 cents around that. That's another. These are like where like this candle can pull all the way back. Sellers can step in, drive the price as far as that, and still be overall in a bullish formation for the next 48 hours. So I'm not saying that it will go back down to that price, but that's where I will put like limit buys per se. But if I were like, if I was late to the party, like, cause like guys, this is be real, you should have been in these positions like literally last week. I'm just being honest with you, like. But if you were looking for it, because there's always going to be some type of opportunities, there's always some type of money on the floor. I would look at those key checkpoints because they can act as support. Because they were acting as at one point like as natural resistance, So yeah.
So would you like in this exact moment, looking at the chart, how it is looking like a bullish formation? However, there are opportunities to play some limit buys. Would you personally, obviously not financial advice, this is all entertainment purposes, but like, would you be entering here, like trying to like catch from 105 to 111, or would you be waiting for the pullback before placing a bid?
I mean, if I was a levy boy right now, if I was playing perps on this right now, I definitely would throw just my limit buys out there at those checkpoints because I would just throw them out there and just add to the liquidity pools to act so like you and other buy orders act like a compounding magnet for it to more than likely come back down to those points. But as a natural investor looking at this, I wouldn't chase this. I wouldn't chase something like this. Like when we called it, it was like literally the breakout. We literally called it around here last week.
It was literally 87 to 91 was the range.
Yeah,
it was a 12-hour win just there.
So I mean, like, yeah. So I don't like chasing shit. I like to catch. But like overall, if we're talking about a larger sentiment, if I'm like looking at higher time frames, this is like currently the 3-day, I would definitely still go within the direction. If I know that the sentiment overall is bullish, I would just wait for an entry. I'll just try to get into my entry points. Whether on lower time frame it retests was something that was like a former resistance level, or like for a fair value gap of some sort. I would try to put my entries around there at the point of choice, like basically the strongest liquidity huddle around that range by like looking at like a order map or something like that. And yeah, man, and just like wait it out, wait for it to get filled, honestly. Outside of that, the sentiment is definitely like Solana still has gas in his tank, but like for how long? Like definitely the next signal that's forming is a sell signal that's coming, but we don't know. That could be like I said, the market is juicy all the way to September 22nd. That's where I would start like either like before the 22nd, start like closing some positions, TPing, just kind of just like making sure I protect profits. And like, so just in case things start going the other way at that point, some turbulence times, I already made out of the bandit. I already made some bread. So you guys have some time to play. Like I told you guys when I was like, if I was a levy, like last week, I literally said, if I was a levy boy right now, I would be playing this thing. If I was in the perps right now, I'll be playing this right now, because this is your time to go bull hearted. But for how long? I don't believe that we're out of the bear. I still think that we overall have time in the bear. But hey, I could be wrong, man, because technically we should be bottoming out this year. But I feel for some reason that we might see some lower prices even early 2027. So yeah.
So okay, so I understand that this week you are in the Fatal Trade Challenge. 7 days to make to rub 2 pennies to make 10, and in this limited capacity from this 7 days time starved situation, how are you playing it? How are you looking to play the remaining time that's in the challenge?
Well, I'm not really spot buying anything right now. I don't really have any alpha for the spot buying scene right now. I do have some long-term candidates.
Can I just say, dude,
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you so quickly into that, but
You did give me some alpha. You told
I
me
did
about
give you alpha, and also the alpha did come good because Bill was so like I said to you, like, hey, I think Lena on base is by sub 100K, and then today it ran to almost 300K. So that was
right
like,
now. I'm just paper trading your alpha right now because I'm still devastated from that first alpha. That was like 4K.
bro,
Like your paper trade, your alpha has gotten like, because you told me to get El Knock, and and
I told you to get what was the token? It was something that was super promising, and then just fucking.
Did you tell me about good?
I told you I good as well, dude.
Okay.
I told you I good at like 5 mil, and I was like, look, man, this token's already done 20x, but I think they can do further, and they went to 13 mil today.
Yeah. So I'll give you that. We didn't talk about base cat.
But we didn't need to talk about base cat because like when I was sourcing alpha / feeding alpha, base cat was already at 25-30 mil, and now it's like 23. So that's just like sort of slumped down. I mean, maybe it's pumped. I haven't checked. I don't
know. But like everybody, that's what from the base scene, it was base cat. But I felt when I looked into it, a lot of that was credited to Miggles, like beefing with base cat on the timeline, and then Miggles did a pump. So I have no idea. So
I think honestly, I think it was some genius marketing from the Migos team, because obviously, in my eyes, they're not connected, they're not related, but from the OG, AI cat to the new flavor of the month kitten, I think it took. It was brilliant marketing to connect the two, from like Mufasa Simba situation, from the old cat to the new cat, saying, "Hey, have you run at this? But let's bring it back to the old boys," kind of thing. And I think it was actually like super well articulated. So I'm not fading the Migos team. Migos team was also a part of the Bass Stonks movement. That was one of the tokens that carried me across the finish line. And then
Yeah.
B Stonk.
Beast on.
But then, back in 2024, I was doing some hype man work for some Solana tokens, including Kato and Kimono, and I met a great group of degens and builders and traders over there, including Pudabank is he's like a good friend. Pudabank, I would like he has my respect, 100%. And then Oh My Jack, like oh my Jack, he is in 2024 he was a top 10 trader. I think he got like top 6. I think it was like 6th in the world for perps trading on Bybit, and he was also like the mastermind behind Kato and Kimono CTO. So when these guys, Team No Sleep, have that work ethic and are able to like push and create content and just rally community behind them. I've seen the work ethic before. These guys can create magic, and then seeing like the subsequent like influencers who are supporting the Bass Stonks and BSTFY. It's just like Stonkify. They really have like a real shot at like bringing new eyes to base, and then Stonks has like Miggle teams behind it, so it's like the native team versus the exploratory team building stuff on base in Bass Stonks stocks, paying out yields. At the end of the day, like, may the best team win, but it's like it's definitely an exciting time. And if you're not involved in either of the tokens, if you're not in STFY, which is paying daily, hourly stocks that are tokenized on base, and if you're not in B stonks, like, guys, this is the current meta. This is where like the cream is just creaming. Like there's a lot going on, and I think the fact that they know that they both have it up for grabs. They're both over $1 million market cap, both sub 5 mil. It's anybody's game who's going to take it to the next level. So it's just it's exciting to have exposure to both. It's exciting to see who's going to win this and who wants this more. So yeah, stocks on base is definitely active, and it's there's two big contenders, Coke and Pepsi, for this.
It looks like things are going to get interesting for DeFi projects in the short term. All like Ethereum DeFi projects, layer 1 or 2. It looks like they're going to be really spiced up because ETH look like is on the course to around $2,900, $3,000 before seeing true resistance. Like it definitely is at a key resistance spot right now, as you guys can see, but the next checkpoint is 2,700 after that. So that's over $200 jump for the Levy boys. And then after that is 28, 25. So we're really going to be to see the real turbulences around. We get around like 3,045. So ETH is looking crazy. And with that magnitude of crossing these EMAs, I don't know. But yeah, this is looking really good for ETH to turn it around and start like start doing something finally to outperform Bitcoin for a extended period and create what we always wanted was a good flow for alts. Because everything is kind of tied to ETH in some way or form at this point.
So okay, so on this setup, would you say this could be a trade right now, or trade's gone? What's up with this?
Yeah, this is definitely like something that like I would long ETH and then try to get out around like the 2,900 range. That's like pushing it if I don't get wiped out. But um
And
yeah.
and what leverage would you use? Because like last week, I literally I just followed you to a T. No financial advice, no hate given if this doesn't go well. I won't place a long on something I can't afford to lose. But if I were to put $500 on a long here, what X? If you were to place $500 on a long here, what X would you use?
For me, like I see like 10x is like the max leverage I have right now on this phone. So I would do max leverage 10, 20x, wherever you can find 25. Oh, actually, it's 25x is what I'm playing with ETH. So 25x is I have a position open for ETH for 25x, I think, right now, if I'm correct. But yeah, yeah. I wouldn't do like a 50x or 100x. It's too tight to get wicked out and swept off because we're looking at a high time frame. This is 9-day chart that still has about 4 days and 3 hours to pull back, play around, wipe everybody clean, and then continue the momentum up. So, let's look at 3 day and then look at the 20. See, the 3 days already showing me that yeah, it's gonna pop up. So right now we're currently in an entry point right now. We're in an entry zone right now. And we checked this demand here, but we have a bigger buying gap here that we could probably play it. So 24.31. Yeah. It's cooling off right now. So if I was playing it right now, I wouldn't long right this moment. I will wait for this to play out because we have so much liquidity here that we can like probably hit, So I would just watch it. I will watch it for now. I will stock it for the next 2 to 3 days before putting in a long. And unless you got a good entry where like you can't, it'll be really hard for you to get liquidated. It's gonna cool off for today and tomorrow, and then sometime on day 3, going into day 4, because we already are at a buy signal. We're at a buy signal, but it's false heading right now. So that's showing that there is.
Sorry, when you're saying it's falsehooding, what do you mean by that?
That like it's producing a buy signal from the amount of money that's been slapped at it, but the candles are showing the exact opposite. Like this is kind of like a fake out. It's lying. It's manipulating. It's being manipulated to honeypot people, to like draw people in to lose money right now. So we'll see how long it fares out. Let me go to even a lower time frame. So yeah, it's definitely cooling out right now. And it looks like it's definitely trying to get back to around 2170, maybe a little bit higher to 2300 range. But it's trying to cool out right now. But long term, it has enough momentum overall on higher time frames. On the bigger time frames, it's gonna get to 2900. So if you can buck this thing and like position yourself for great entry, you could ride this thing to 2900 and just let it go. Take the money and reset again.
So looking at the chart now, like, do you think this could be a short entry?
This chart right now is a short. Yeah, this is a short right now. It's definitely it's testing this right now. It's using this little gap right here as support. But if it gets under this EMA, it's going to start traveling down to the 2200, 2100. It's going to start filling all these little gaps of liquidity, So, and this is acting like a bigger magnet of liquidity. There's huge liquidity here and here. big money here that's like wanting to buy it at these prices. So it's definitely cool now.
So if you were to enter position, gun to your head, 20x, are we leaning long or short? I mean, you said the answer, but like
If I was
in terms of
if it was gun to my head and I had to like execute a trade for the next 24 hours, I would be shorting ETH right now. But if you gave me till next week, Tuesday or Wednesday time, I would long this shit. Because like I'll be only stalking a short. I'll be getting a short right now and then closing that short. So that's like a couple dollars on the floor when I'm realistically stalking for an entry to long this thing. You know, so it looks like it's not gonna be short for that long. We're talking about less than a day or two at the most, at the most. So it may even be quicker than that. It might be like a thief in the night. So you might be seeing, oh, I'm in profit. You go to sleep, wake up, you're already liquidated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's valid. And how low do you think this can go before this turns around?
Right now, it's trying to find a home around 2460 range. If that doesn't hold, then we got 2426. And if that doesn't hold, we're gonna be overall down here into the 2200, low 2300s right now. So, which can act as support, you know, our strong support. So we'll see. But it looks like overall, when I'm judging this, it really wants to get back down to 2100 before doing anything else. But that's just the 9 hour. But when I look at the 3-day, for example, 3 days showing me magic, man. 3 days showing me that, bro, like enjoy it. Like in the next day or so, we're gonna go higher. Like we're gonna go higher. You know, that's what it's trying to tell me. Like right now, if we can break this, we're at a key support level and EMA right here, all being aligned perfectly. If we can shotgun that, bro, we got crazy momentum. But it's like crossing these EMAs is super bullish. You know, if we can get that push. Right now, we're setting up for a pullback. It looks like it's a sell signal, but on the higher time frames, oh yeah, bro, this is just a cooling out situation, bro. Like it's like ETH is trying to get that to $2,900, $3,000. That's like a guarantee, like, you know. And like I said, we have until September 22nd, so a lot can happen. We can have some ups and downs. But ETH is going to be more expensive 2 weeks from now. ETH is going to be more expensive than it is right now, 100%. You know, and that's going to be good for DeFi. That's going to be good for DeFi related projects that are all based on the trade and loan and borrowing of ETH. You know, staking, all that.
So we're seeing the closed sell signals. We're seeing the buy signals on the 9-day time frame. Like this indicates that we are moving on up. But then you're saying on the I forget what the time frame was, a 6 hour. It looks like we're calling
9
off
hours, 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, we're heading on down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were
to stock an entry, I would be more trying to go with the sentiment instead of trying to, like, some people think they're like, oh, I'm going to short it down, make money on the way down, and then I'm going to catch it when it goes long. Crypto is very boring to a sense when it comes to the perp trade because it doesn't move like the micro or the mini NQ. You know, when you're playing futures, right? The validity there, like here, is like it's in swings, it's in moments. So for me, I'll be checking like, okay, it's getting a little bit lower, it's getting a bit lower. Where is my entry point to long this bitch? Because I know that it's just cranking up to spring out. It's coiling up to like spring out in the next candle, you know?
So in your mind, this isn't worth shorting. It's about finding entry for the next long.
Yeah. 100%.
And so right now we're at 2,500. The magnet is 2,900 and also 2,100. Are you looking to take it down? Like the sell signals are saying we're likely to go down. Placing your bets, laddering it in from like 22 to 21, so you can catch some bids.
Yeah,
along
man.
with-
Yeah, man. Like, I will put some positions in I would just be putting in limit orders right now to just try to get an entry in, because we can go. Like right now, we're sitting at 2509. Like I said, it was trying to find. I think I said 2460 with this trying to find a home, and then after that 2426. So it's really realistically, it's trying to like it doesn't just go right there and back up usually. So that means like realistically, an overall push is 20. It's like the high 2300 range. I will be putting in a buy order, which is right here on the key EMA, which is around 2352 and change. So like that's just like where it can like still like cool off. It can turn red and go that way and still be in bullish formation. It can still be in bullish formation all the way down to halfway to this damn candle, to the previous candle, and still be in bullish formation. The only thing that's constricting it from going that far is the time. When I go to the 3-day, I can clearly see like the next candle's opening up in a day and 2 hours. So all of tomorrow is gonna be fuckery, probably some pullbacks, a reddish kind of feeling kind of day for Ethereum. But overall, by what today's Thursday, so by Saturday or Sunday, it's going to try to move on up. It's going to make another attempt to go higher.
So on the 3-day, are you seeing us pull back from 2,500 to the 2,300 range?
Yeah. So when I line it up, I can see like where it can like go as around 2443 on the 3-day right here. And then 2416. So yeah, 2420. It's about the same range, Outside of that, then you have this little gap here that we can revisit again. But I feel like this is the invalid fair gap. It's the invalidated gap, I feel. So yeah, man. I think that this is just something that I will cordially watch, because I feel that the price is gonna go lower before it truly gets to the next level. It's having a cooling off after like a pump through. So yeah.
All right, man. Well, if anybody wants to follow your calls, where are you posting your insights beyond the show?
I don't really post them no more. Honestly, I don't really post any of that stuff no more, dude. Honestly, like maybe I should start a trade group one day, right? But like, this is it, guys. You guys got to tune in here and just like ask questions live, and throw out some coins you want us to look at. Outside of that, like I'm only putting some tweets out there just because of you, Carlos. But truly, like for me, I'm gonna be like basically trading. Like for day to day, I'm planning on just trading the NASDAQ, honestly, for validity, like a job, wake up, do my morning routine. The market opens around 9:30 New York time, 9:30 a.m., and then try to trade within that first hour and call it a day. So that's just where I'm at right now, playing micros and mini NQs on futures. And that's just what I'll be doing. But perps, to me, perps is kind of boring. It's like you got to be basically just trying to scalp and just hope that you're in a good sentiment. But for real perp traders, you're not perp trading every single day. You're doing it at moments, and then you take hiatuses in between where you're not trading at all, because crypto has stagnation. So it's just basically just trying to lick his wounds from the smart traders that took their money and ran. So it acts different. Like as big as you've seen people get rich in crypto, that institutional money from traditional markets is on a whole nother wave. Like we can literally on the NQ, we could trade live together and have a whole class of people doing the exact same trades around us, and it still won't be enough liquidity for like versus a crypto exchange where they have to manipulate it crazy. Like it's gonna get manipulated regardless from the algorithms, but like it's a bigger ocean of liquidity because you have at different ranges traders that are trading like 47 accounts, copy accounts. So they're like managing over $20,000-$30,000 in one trade, 100 grand in one trade, versus somebody that's putting up $600 to $1,200 a trade, $300 to $500 a trade. You know, so it's a different league of money. That's why I see why tokenized stock, like tokenizing traditional finance is a bigger play at money because it makes cryptocurrency that much smaller, and like this is very good for blockchain and technology advancements and on-chain advancements, but it's very bad for cryptocurrencies because cryptocurrencies are going to be outshined by traditional finance. You know, that's just what it is. ETFs, stocks, T-bills, anything that you can that's right now on paper and in the old server way that can now be on chain. Once it comes over, it's going to overshadow anything that's just calling itself a currency. That's why Hyperliquid, even though it has a token, is not really viewed as a cryptocurrency. Is looked at as a 24-hour trading exchange, and this is their token in their ecosystem. No, but like you could still cash it out either way. But it's like you got to have a different approach with your token while you're doing it at this point. You know,
Well, I mean, talking about like the different approach to having a token. I mean, Coinbase hasn't even launched a token, and they're entering the stock arena.
Yeah, it's because of how their company's set up, because they're traded on the NASDAQ just like Robinhood. Robinhood doesn't have their own token, from what I understand. There's limitations there. Hyperliquid did it the right way because you can trade Hyperliquid on the NASDAQ. It's called Hyperliquid Strategies Inc. It's a separate entity. You know what I'm saying? It's a separate entity, but we all know it's under the Hyperliquid umbrella. You know, so they're actually already on stock and they're on chain. Total, but there's a separate alliance. There's like a separate boundary. There's a separation of these entities, you know, just like how Binance US was claiming that it was separate from Binance, even though it was under the Binance umbrella, you know. So Hyperliquid just did it overall the right way. It's very incredible to see somebody like Jeff come along. It's very inspiring to see somebody younger than me do something like this, and kind of let me know like I need to get my shit together. Honestly, to like if somebody can come like that and just build something so great with a good team like that, there's no telling what the possibilities can be, you know. So yeah, man, you gotta basically, if you're gonna build a cryptocurrency, it can't be just a currency at this point. It has to be more, and it probably needs to even have its own chain. It's starting to get to that point. The game of the saturation of just pumping out coins and this and that, it's reaching the ceiling
it's absolutely done. I think the fact about like younger people accomplishing such feats, I think it can only be seen as inspiring to people, entrepreneurs of all ages, because at the end of the day, like Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he created KFC, and I know KFC has more locations worldwide than McDonald's, which is like a crazy thing to even like think about, because like, well, no, obviously not, but in China KFCs are like 3-1 to McDonald's because they only require a small space in comparison. And he was like, I think he was 62 when he started the whole franchise. And so like us dinosaurs in our mid-30s, like we got time ahead of us. And I think at the end of the day, like, trading, growing in personal connections, growing in personal wealth, like these are things that either strengthen yourself or strengthen your network. so that whenever the opportunity arises where it's your time to dance with the VCs and dance, like really be in the spotlight, then all the pieces are there.
Yeah, man. I just think that the stakes are just higher. You just got to come with more or network harder. It's really like, the VCs are only gonna really invest within their circles unless you pop up with something like OpenClaw. You gotta like kind of create like a disruptor for them to reach out. But like if outside of that, you just gotta kind of like network within and just try to see if you can get the right allegiance of people that believe into what you got going on. Honestly, man. So there's so much stuff, man. And it's kind of crazy, just a wild day or a wild 2 weeks of crypto. Damn. But yeah, man, you know how it is, dog. It's never a dull moment. That's just how it is with this shit.
Never a dull day in crypto. That is for sure. Well, dude, let's put a ribbon on this. I'm sure we're gonna chat it up more after the show. But any final words before we close this out?
Yeah, swiper.xyz, guys. Please check that out. Sign up, get your friends on to use your referral. We're really dialing in and locking in. We're working around the clock on this. We're building a copy trading system to launch for pre-fi and then into crypto. But outside of that, it's a super app. Listen to music, watch shows, movies, make a post, have live spaces. It's the whole shebang, guys. So check out Swiper, use Base Junkie's referral link. And I'll see you over there, man. It's definitely good. I'm really proud of how far we've taken it. And I just look to just keep building more with it. I think this is where I'm gonna be. I know I went into a serial building I was trying to keep up with the base batches. I was trying to drop different projects to try to see what will work, what will fit for these guys. But I think Swiper is where I want to be at this point and where I'm going to stay for a very long time. It's a very big project, and I really love building it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Check it out.
All right, guys. Make sure you do check out Swiper, SWIPR.xyz, and check out all the things that Toro and the team have been building. But guys, this is our weekly alpha show where we chop it up and just give real insights into what we see in the markets, what we see into the overall trends, certain tokens that we're getting into. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the alpha. We do this every Thursday night, 1:30 p.m. PST, 9:30 p.m. GMT +1. So we'll see you on the Swiper app, and we'll see you on a future episode. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly,
stay based.
Stay based. Peace out, everyone.
Peace.
I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. Tell him again. I'm a baseline junkie. Tell him again. And I like it funky.